Hello and welcome to this special segment from the Sigma Central Europe Media Lounge. My name is Iman Franscadore and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Karolina Pelc, founder of Beyond Play. Hi Karolina, thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you very much for having me.
Let's talk about your book, Her Play. What internal shift made you decide, I'm doing this now?
I guess the question is why not do it now, right? But I think the story behind it is, first of all, described in the book. So I encourage anyone who will buy the book to read it there. But in short, it was a spark of inspiration when I was on Necker Island and I was sharing my story with people from outside of the industry that told me they found it really interesting and inspiring. And I think that gave me a bit more confidence and I decided to write the book then. The other part of it is that my mission post-exit from Beyond Play is very much about empowerment of early-stage founders, particularly female entrepreneurs. And that book is my way of paying it forward with a little bit of advice, a little bit of motivation, and sharing some of the things that worked for me in my journey.
That's such an interesting story. Thank you. What parallels did you discover between launching a company and launching a book?
Actually, there were many. I was surprised because initially writing the book was supposed to be my pet project, something I was doing on the side, a little bit of a journey of letting go of my responsibility as a CEO as I gradually sort of was withdrawing myself from the business. But there was a lot of things I didn't know. So I didn't know how long the book should be to really land the space in the stores. So obviously I wrote a bit too much. I didn't know how long it takes to secure a publisher. And I didn't know that the journey to secure a publisher is very much like pitching for investment in a startup. You start to face a lot of self-doubt. You face a lot of ghosting. You face a lot of rejection.
I bet, yeah.
Luckily, based on my startup journey, I was quite prepared for that. So it wasn't such a big challenge. But then I guess another thing about this is that you have to really put yourself out there before you're ready. Because if you're a writer at heart, which I think I am, even though I discovered it now, the book never feels ready. The same as your product in a startup. You can dream up your MVP. You can dream up a situation in which you're perfectly ready to launch, but the book never feels finished. You want to keep iterating, making it better. And at some point, you just need to make that call of, okay, I'm done now. Now we're putting it out into the
definitely.
world.
What an interesting perspective. I mean, I can totally empathize with you. So, and I'm sure that everyone that listens to you will be agreeing with what you're saying. You shifted your focus towards AI in recent years. What specific areas of AI excite you most from a product or investment standpoint?
Where do I start? I mean, AI excites me in all its contexts. So I both use AI in my daily work. It was very heavily incorporated into my book writing process, not to replace the creativity part, but more to replace the execution part to a certain extent, because I use a variety of different AI softwares to cut out unnecessary people in the process. From the investment perspective, I think AI is an emerging trend. I think anybody who still thinks it's a buzzword is in for a big surprise. What I like about AI specifically is its human-centric, context, where what I find AI is able to do is to scale really brilliant founders. So previously, you'd have a really good founder, but a lot of elements of his business would still be dependent on his team. AI gives them this capability to multiply themselves, to some extent scale their talent, their brains, their business acumen through the use of the tools or agents that they create. Another element of AI that I really, really love is its ability to feel, recognize tone, empathy. I play a lot with AI twin softwares. And I think there are plenty of opportunity for application of this in professional development, in mental health. So I'm spending quite a lot of time on exploration of this. And if I ever do another startup again, very likely it will be one of those where it features the AI buzzword in the pitch deck.
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely agree on this. And with a foot in both investing and innovation, how do you evaluate a startup's potential in terms of founder resilience and long-term vision?
So I invest primarily in early stage companies. Consequently, that means I invest in people. So for me, that evaluation is one of the most important ones. And usually it's people that I have either known for a while, I'm familiar with their track record, I'm familiar with their capabilities, their ways of working, or it's people that I've had a chance to meet maybe more recently, but in a deep connection setting. So I look at what those people have done before. I look at their early moves. I'm a pretty good judge of character. I quite often try to compare them to myself when it comes to ability to think quick, ability to pivot quick, and can they land on their ass hard and get up as fast. So these are the key qualities I look for in founders. So it's not just about the really good product, but exactly those traits that you mentioned, resilience and bold moves at the very early stage already.
What a smart approach, Carolina. And as someone who's lived multiple chapters in their career, casino operator, founder, executive, author, what advice would you give to professionals facing reinvention or unsure how to pivot with purpose?
Uh, the simplest advice is just go for it. I know that it sounds cliche and it's easier said than done. But I think the whole barrier of people really going after their dreams and trying something new is the fear of failure. I'm doing a keynote about fear of failure, particularly in half an hour, and the science behind it. So I really encourage founders to try to understand the neuroplasticity of their brain and how much can be achieved by simple training and reframe. So our confidence, our resilience, and our ability to overcome the fear of failure are all trainable skills. So the more you put yourself out there, the easier it's going to be to acquire strength in the area. So again, just go for it, be prepared for hard work, be prepared to handle failure, but don't let the failure or any feelings of not good enough, imposter syndrome, stop you in your starting tracks.
That's really inspiring. I'm sure that this will resonate with a lot of people. Thank you very much. Karolina Pelc, thank you so much for being with us today and for sharing your insights. My name is Emanuele Frascadore, and you're watching Sigma Central Europe Media Lounge. See you at the next interview.